All set for another great edition of EFL TV for Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, your local community dealer. Always great to catch up with the Nancy Reagan of the EFL, the First Lady we like to call her. Lauren Wood, she's back again on EFL TV. G'day, Loz.
That's a new one, half.
Working on them all the time. Now, Interleague, it's underway. What's happening?
It is. The 9 News Interleague squads have been picked and they've been training and it's all underway. They had their jumper presentation last Wednesday.
Yep.
We had Kieran Harper from the Kangaroos down there to present the boys, a former EFL Interleaguer himself. So he was there with plenty of advice on hand for the boys and they kicked off their Vic Metro Championships campaign last night.
Good.
So once again, we've got 2 teams in the under-14s and 2 teams in the under-15s.
Right.
So you can check out how they went at Noble Park and... can't think of where the other venue was. You'll have to fill us in on that.
Well, Bentley, I think it might have been.
Yeah, that'd be it. So you can check out the results on the website.
It's efl.org.au for all the latest from the Interleague results there, which is great. Well done, and good luck to all the teams through the campaign. This week's radio coverage, the Caravan of Courage. Where's it off to this week?
It's off to Divvy 4 this week and heading up the mountain to South Belgrave.
Ooh.
So we've got 2 undefeated teams in
Is there
South...
a big truck to get it up the mountain?
There is the EFL Ute, of course, provided by Ferntree, Gully, Holden. Worked out beautifully, didn't we?
Your local community dealer.
That's right. So, as I said, there's 2 undefeated teams in Division 4, South Belgrave and the Basin. So, one of them is going to go a game clear on the Division 4 ladder this weekend. So, you can catch all the action on 98.1 Radio Eastern from 1 o'clock.
Outstanding, and the live streaming as well on efl.org.au for that game as well, which would be great. Now, I had a chat. Now, I'm not sure if you know this, but I had a chat to our man Pete from the EFL, and I asked him, I begged with him to open the cupboard and give us a footy. And guess what?
He did.
He did! Footy's back, going to give away a footy. How are we going to do it?
You'll have to catch the code word. You're going to give it away with Benny a little bit later on in the footy preview segment.
Okay.
So make sure you grab that one and email it to competitions@efl.org.au. I know you know that one off by heart now. Mm-hmm. And you can win yourself a KB.
A brand new Sharon, a brand new Nurry.
Matchy, that's the one. A yellow one too. So keeping away from the red theme of the last few weeks.
Outstanding. Competitions at efl.org.au later on once you hear the code word. Is that it for you?
That's it.
Great to have you back. We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Now, this is a bit of a surprise. I didn't know this was coming today on EFL TV, but the General Manager of Footy Ops at the EFL, Phil Merton, is back. I can't believe it. Great stuff, Phil.
Half, good to see you again.
Great to see you. I've missed you. Where have you been?
I've missed you too. Just been busy at the office trying to keep things ticking along. So there's been better guests than me to come on here. So
No, there hasn't. You're a star and we love you. And there has been a few issues in local footy of recent weeks. I've discussed a few of them on the show. Half time, 12 to 4 in SEN. You love it. Probably a timely reminder to find out maybe the parameters and the rules, not so much rules, but guidelines for going to the footy and being a part of a day at the footy.
yeah, look, certainly we think, it's halfway mark of the junior season. The senior season's about a third of the way through. So it's a bit of a timely reminder for people, considering what's been in the press over the last little bit, in relation to the expectations of behaviour that we have at ground, both of people on the ground and people off the ground.
Yep.
So there's a couple of areas that we touch on with clubs on a pretty consistent basis to try and ensure we get people doing the right thing, because everyone wants this game to be a great game, but it doesn't take much for the bad behaviour of a few to taint everyone. So, so a few of those issues are player and spectator language. So we want, when you bring the boys down to come to footy, that you're in an environment where you're not hearing foul language, be it on the field or off the field. So we've got expectations. Umpires manage it on the field and clubs manage it off the field. And then also from umpire abuse as well. So look, everyone barracks and cheers, but there's a line that some people cross, whether it's on the field or off the field.
Yeah.
I think certainly on the field, with regard to players and umpire abuse, there's not too many issues these days. But off the field, some people just step over that line a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Everyone wants to be involved, and it's an emotional game, footy, and we love the passion that footy supporters have, but there is a line, and from what I've seen in local footy in recent years, personally, it hasn't been too big an issue, and hopefully that's the way it stays.
Yeah, look, it isn't a huge issue, but all you need is one or two incidents, and it just tarnishes everyone. Yep. And so that's why we think it's really important to keep reminding people. So,
what about from a melee point of view? What are the guidelines there?
Yeah, look, certainly melees are one of the most difficult things from a management point of view for any sporting organisation to manage, because when two players are having a go at each other, the umpires can see what's going on, and everyone else can see what's going on it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
As soon as you get 5, 10, 15 people involved, you can't see what's going on, and to be able to try and identify any specific incidents out of that's pretty difficult. So we've had a mallow rule in place for a number of years, but up until this year it had been a warning for the first time. But we'd actually been seeing the numbers slightly increasing. So this year we changed it so that there's fines straight away for clubs if there's a mallow. The umpires tell the players it's a mallow, give them 3 warnings. If they don't stop, then they report it to us.
Okay.
And we've seen some positive feedback from clubs straight away in relation to that. So they're giving the message to their players, don't go and get involved, or if you're getting involved, go in and rip our blokes out. So that's what we want. So
It's like the old, I'll give it to my kids 1, I count to 3, 1, 2, 3. If I get to 3, it's action stations.
well, it's pretty much that's pretty much what it is. So.
Right, okay. A vilification, probably don't need to say too much on this. We just know it's unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
Full
And
stop.
look, the AFL have done a great job in terms of championing this cause, and we just need to make sure we remain vigilant in what we do and how we manage that. And one of the other areas that's growing, I know you're a big tweeter half, is social media.
Massive.
And with the advent of Facebook and Twitter, and we've got our own forum, which we encourage people to get on. I love
Which is great.
and I love the commentary we get on there from a lot of people. But it's a reminder that these are all social forums, and
Yep.
public forums. So what you're saying can be seen by anyone, and there's the old Herald Sun trick that if you don't think it's worthy of printing on the front of the Herald Sun, don't say it or don't put it down. And so we think people need to be really careful whether they're on Facebook, Twitter, our forum, or whatever else it may be, that you don't say anything that's rude or derogatory towards someone or insulting or vilify someone. So it's pretty important that people continue the right thing.
Sound advice, I would have thought, via the social mediums. And lastly, yellow cards and the tribunals, an update there.
Yeah, so look, as you know, umpires can give yellow cards. We're about 19% down on where we were across the senior reserves under 19s competition as this time last year, which is good. And we think umpires are doing a really good job of managing the game, as we see. Tribunal reports are at a pretty similar rate to what they were last year, which, one report's one too many, but we actually want umpires to identify when things go wrong. So, from that perspective, it's going really well.
Just a bit of a guideline for all those people out there in EFL land to make sure we're on the right side of it every time when we go to the footy, and have a great day in the Eastern Footy League. Phil, it's been too long, mate. Come back soon.
No worries, I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Phil Merton from the EFL. Footy time on EFL TV. Media manager Ben Waterworth back again. G'day, Benny.
Hello, Half. I think we need to drop the S word on EFL TV. I think we owe an apology.
What's that?
I think we might have to say sorry to the Surrey Park Football Club.
Why?
Do you reckon we hyped them up too much?
No. We will continue to hype them. We'll
Okay.
continue to back the Super Surrey Park Panthers in for a win. It's coming.
It's coming?
Now, maybe it was a bit over the top, bit of OTT action from us last
OTT,
week.
yes.
But it's coming. It's full support from EFL TV for our boys at Surrey Park.
The few of the media team guys think Surrey Park will get a win this year, so hopefully, for our sakes
You
and for
tipped
their
them.
sake, I did tip them. I thought they would win. I reckon a win's coming as well.
All right, we'll get to Divi 4 later on. Bad luck to the Super Surrey Park Panthers. But Divi 1 this weekend, Blackburn v Lilydale. Both upset victories last week. Lilydale taking down the Magpies.
Yeah,
Huge win.
that was probably the biggest surprise out of all results last weekend, Half. But Blackburn kicked a goal with about 15 seconds left to knock over Vermont as well. So 2 real surprise victories for those 2 clubs last weekend. You look at Lilydale's victory, though. Nathan O'Keefe, one of my favourite players, kicked 8 out of 11 goals for Lilydale. Now, you look at the 3 weeks before that, Lilydale had 3, 6 and 7 goals in each of those 3 games. So that's 16 goals across 3 matches. That's not an ideal style of scoring at the moment. So maybe they rely too much on O'Keefe to kick them a winning score. As for Blackburn, they like to spread their goal kickers. They got every week they seem to be having almost double digits goal kickers. So in that going on that, I think Blackburn will probably be able to get the chocolates, but it should be a reasonably tight encounter out there at Moreton Park.
Yeah, pretty big one, I would have thought, for both teams. Divi 2, Roval take on Murrelbach. 7-zip Roval, Murrelbach 6-1. But both teams, I believe, got some injury concerns.
Yes, a few injury clouds just hanging over both clubs at the moment. Damien Garner and Nick Schollmakers, 2 key parts of the Roval midfield, came off in the second half last weekend against Doncaster. Reece didn't play much there. But everyone's favourite Russian, the most popular Russian in the EFL, Kidej Talevski, came off in the second half for Murrelbach. But he's expected to play, but interesting to see how he comes back from that. You look at Roval at the moment, there's such an even team from backline to forward line. Not a whole lot of stars, like some great players, obviously, you likes of Matty Stanley and Jackson. But you look at Murrelbach, they rely heavily on Talevski and also rely heavily on that midfield. Charge, Moorabach, charge and polking, I should say, of Moorabach. Fantastic midfield. At Seabeck Oval, I get the feeling that Roval will probably be too strong, but Moorabach will want to say to the Eastern Football League that we can match it with the big guys. They got pants by Montrose a couple of weeks ago. Yep. So I expect this one to be close, but surely Roval, they haven't lost the game yet, and I don't think they'll lose this weekend.
Certainly the feature game in Div 2, you would have thought. Moving on to Division 3, Ben, we've got Baronia taking on Glen Waverley. It's Hawk v Hawk. Feathers will fly.
Yeah, feathers will be everywhere at Toolmore Reserve on the weekend half. Glen Waverley Hawks are actually the second best attacking team in Division 3, so they're going about their business okay. Out of their 6 games, they're 4-2, but in every single game, they've actually been in front at three-quarter time. Yeah. As I said, they've lost 2 of those games, but all of those games have probably been pretty tight. Big test against Baronia this weekend, clearly their biggest test of the season, but the Hawks just look super strong at the moment, particularly down in defence. I've mentioned their defence a number of times on EFL TV this season. Yep. They're a very, very good side. I expect them to win actually quite comfortably on the weekend.
All right, a comfortable victory there. Div 4, not sure there'll be too many comfortable victories in this game. It's the Caravan of Courage game. South Belgrave taking on the Basin. Both teams undefeated. It's going to be a loser on Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll be barring a draw, barring a draw, but you would think that one team would walk away with no points on the weekend. South Belgrave, they've been a pretty good side this year. Over previous years, they've had to rely on Lucas Appleby to kick a lot of their goals, but they've been able to spread their goal kickers like Blackburn in Division 1 so far this season. The Basin, when you look at it statistically, are actually clearly the best team in Division 4 at the moment. Best attack and the best defence. They've got a great mix of youth and experience. Their forward line with Coltrera, Colicchio, Todd Power's gone down there, Matty Smith. They've got a fantastic forward line down there. Certainly a ripper game. Very, very even on paper. At South Belgrave Recreation Reserve, though, very small ground. Nick Cox's boys play that very, very well. My hunch is South Belgrave, but these 2 teams are desperate to get out of Division 4, so they will know that if whoever wins this game on the weekend will shoot to Division 4 premiership favouritism.
Well, you've got a hunch for South Belgrave.
Got a hunch for South Belgrave, but with...
What's your tip?
At South Belgrave's my tip.
It's not a hunch, it's a tip then. Right, we got to the bottom of that.
Yes.
Now, look, we were promised by Loz before that we're going to give away a brand new Sharon. Oh,
what are these puppies?
Pete has opened the cupboard. We're going to give that away to the first person or the... Well, we'll just work it out. All you got to do is email the code word, which is...
Interleague.
To competitions@efl.org.au, and that little nurry right there could be in your hot little hands very, very shortly. Competitions@efl.org.au. The code word is Interleague. Benny, have a great weekend.
You have a better one, Half.
It's very nice of him. See you next week.